we are during the last few days of 2008, and I thought I'd take these few minutes to do this time and tide block. This is a 9-patch block and it looks kind of like a star. It's pretty fun to sew together and I'm sure it's going to be pretty easy. This is Penny Hallgren from QuiltBlockLibrary.com. I'm ready to get started. I hope you are too, because I'm going to the sewing machine. The fabric is all cut out and laid out on my flannel board, and as you look at the block, it initially might be a little difficult to see where the 9 patches are, but when you cut the fabric and lay it out, it's a little more obvious. So we've got 3 pieces in pretty much each patch, except for the center, which is 4 pieces. Because these outside patches are the same, I'm going to start by sewing the outside patches together, and all I have to do is put them right sides together and stitch down the sides. So I'm going to sew each one of the outside patches. Okay, now I've got my 1 triangle sewed onto each one of these corner patches, and so now I just have to fold back the background fabric and stitch the other patch on in order to make the squares patches in each of the corners. And it's time to decide which way you're going to have your seam allowance face. You can pretty much face it either direction, pointing away from the center shape or pointing toward the center shape. I'm going to point mine away, even though this is lighter fabric, but it's going to cause less bulk here in the tip of this area. Now the corner patches are done, and so the next ones I'm going to sew are these center patches, and it's basically the same thing because these are isosceles triangles with little corner triangles on them. So you just put right sides together, line them up, and stitch them on. Now I've got 1 triangle sewn onto this point of the star, so all I need to do is add the other triangle onto each one of these patches in the center. Now I've got the triangle sewn on the center patches in each side, and what I need to do then is put these 4 together. So I'm going to put these right sides together, and I'm going to chain stitch these 2, just sewing down that way. Now by chain stitching these 2 pair of triangles together and leaving them stitched together in the center, I know exactly how I have to fold them down. So I'm just going to fold these down, and I'm going to sew the seams to the darker side. Now I have all my patches ready to sew together, and the one thing I want to make sure is that I've kind of lined everything up, and I've got my light blue points there, my dark blue points matching here, and then these corner patches. So then I'm just going to sew them together, and the first thing I'm going to do is sew the 2 rows together. So I'm going to face these 2 rows of patches, or columns of patches, right sides together, and then I'll chain sew these straight down. Okay, these 2 columns are sewn together, and now all I need to do is add these patches onto this column. And again, these are chain stitched, and I'm going to leave them chain stitched and just add these patches one at a time. Now I've got the 3 individual rows sewn together, and they're all chain stitched together, so all I need to do is fold these down and stitch the rows together. Got 2 rows sewn together. Now all I need to do is add this bottom row, and this block will be finished. Now our time and tide block is completely done. You can put this on point, which makes kind of interesting, or you can set it straight up and down. I hope you've enjoyed sewing this block together with me. This is Penny Hallgren from QuiltBlockLibrary.com. If you're not already there, be sure to go over to QuiltBlockLibrary.com and get your free download of this pattern. It's a 9-inch, 9-patch block. Until next time, peaceful piecing.